Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is SM Sumaya Mudassir. I'm here with Chairman Program and Content Committee and also a Deputy National Secretary of Jamiyyatu Ansaridden Attijjaniyya. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, my sister. Viewers and listeners, it's my pleasure to be with you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. You are welcome, sir, once again.
Thank you.
Can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Okay. Though you have started briefly, I will just add that my name is Murtala Abdurrahman, and I am the Deputy National Secretary of Jamiyyatu Ansaridden Attijjaniyya, and also the Chairman Program Subcommittee on this maiden West Africa Islamic Conference on Security and Governance.
You are welcome, sir, once again.
Thank you.
The audience would like to hear the brief introduction of Jamiyyatu Ansaridden and the ECOWAS.
Very well. Jamiyyatu Ansaridden Attijjaniyya is a religious organization that was established by Maulana Sheikh al-Islam Haji Ibrahim Abdullah Inyas radiallahu ta'ala anhu, a revered Islamic leader of global repute. He established the organization in 1966. That is equivalent to Hijrah 1383. Jamiyyatu Ansaridden Attijjaniyya is an international organization that has many countries cutting across Africa, Europe, and Asia. And as we are talking, the national branch of the organization, that's the Nigerian branch of Jamiyyatu Ansaridden Attijjaniyya, initiated this West African Islamic Conference on Security and Governance with the very solid collaboration of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS Commission. The essence of the establishment of Jamiyyatu Ansaridden Attijjaniyya was predicated on the founder's vision of having an organization that would champion the propagation of the pristine teachings of Islam, uniting Muslims all over the globe, establishing understanding between followers of different faiths, living in harmony with each other, fostering peace, security, and development. These lofty ideals are part of the visions of the founding father of this organization. And going by the ECOWAS Treaty, we found that, of course, there are ways and channels through which the regional body can collaborate with well-meaning religious organizations like ours to foster development, to foster security, and counter inimical situations like terrorism and banditry and other antisocial situations that have bedeviled our region. So this is, just a brief of, the essence of establishing the Jamiyyatu Ansaridden Attijjaniyya. And of course, on the ECOWAS, it was established by 15 African countries of the West African region during the Treaty of Lagos in 1975. And the essence of establishing the body was to ensure economic integration between the countries, ensure political cooperation, and establish format of developing the continent, the sub-region, and then of course by extension the continent as well. So the ECOWAS body is also into effort to make sure that there is security in the region, there is development, and there is economic prosperity. So all of these lofty ideas as well aligns with the vision of our founding father. And then of course we found in the ECOWAS a potential partner in ensuring that our people live a very safe and productive life, devoid of all the atrocities being committed by devilish people that camouflage with religion and other things to cause havoc in the lives of the people. So this is a brief on the two organizations that are collaborating for this conference mainly. And of course, the collaboration between Jamiyyatu, Ansaridden, Attijjaniyya and the ECOWAS also have a subtle partnering from the African Union, from the angle of silencing the guns as it is. We have a link to that because we are looking at the non-kinetic ways of solving the problems that are bedeviled in the region.
Inshallah. There is conference that is going to take place on the 4th, 5th and 6th of November, which Jamiyyatu Ansaridden Attijjaniyya organized in collaboration with the ECOWAS. What is this conference all about?
Yes, the conference is about tackling the menace of terrorism, banditry, and violent extremism. We want to explore the potentials of Islamic organizations, Islamic leaders, leadership in governments, civil society leaders as well, and other stakeholders, to come together and ruminate, exchange ideas, and fashion out a way of tackling the menace of insecurity in the West African region as well as the Sahel. The design of the conference is such that we are inviting high caliber religious leaders of standing, of repute, people who are champions of peace and development in their own regions, in their own areas, scholars of standing, so that together and with the input of other stakeholders, we will be able to come up with salient and sustainable methodology of countering terrorism and a lot of ills that are going on in the West African region and the Sahel as a result of the maladies of people who are actually misguided. And in so doing, we'll be able to come up with so many other, options of fostering good governance, because good governance will make sure that we do not have proliferation of poverty, proliferation of injustice and corruption and all that. So all these are some of the things that will come up in this conference. And at the end of the day, we hope that it will go a long way in changing, the scenario and the story of the West African as well as the Sahel region.
I think this collaboration is really nice. What are the outcomes expected from the conference? Do you think the audience will benefit from the conference?
Of course, everybody that attends and those who will be listening or watching from the fringes will certainly benefit. But mainly, we are targeting stakeholders, actors, those who have responsibility towards the people. Talking about religious organizations and their leaders, talking about government and political leaders, talking about legislators and the act of legislating, talking about civil society organizations that have responsibility to mobilize people towards a cause, for instance. With all these people who are invited, all these representations are going to be in the conference. We are hoping that we'll have ignited, we'll have succeeded in igniting a robust approach, to the issue of insecurity in West African region as well as the Sahel. So in that format, those who may not have gotten the opportunity to come in after the conference, there's still abundant opportunity for people to come into the system, knowing or seeing how, well-meaning this effort is. The effort is for everybody, is collective effort. We are not leaving it alone for the government. We are involving everybody to make sure that our region is safe and developed for, both ourselves and our children coming, to have a peaceful and a developed region as well as continent by extension, inshallah.
I think this is going to be our last question because our time is running. This also caught my attention because the Al-Majri issue is one of the critical areas the conference is going to spotlight, right?
Yeah.
What are the developments being expected on the Zangaya school system?
Alhamdulillah, when you peep into the previous years, when we have a robust Sangaya system of education, our children comes up with beautiful Quranic education as well as other aspects of religious learning. And of course, the personality of the products of the Sangaya, today you can see them in public spaces, making a difference, with the fear of God, with the knowledge of their deen. Because when you train somebody who has the fear of God, who has the knowledge of why he is on this earth, then by the time he has a responsibility after developing other skills, going to other learnings, and then he becomes somebody in the society, that person is bound to be responsible, is bound to be accountable. So the Sangaya has been playing that role in those years. But in recent times, the system has been allowed, to rot to such an extent that, children, or rather those who are in the system, are going through very terrible situations, squalor, deprivation, and so many things, because they do not have any support from government, neither do they have support from well-to-do philanthropists who are supposed to, apart from few, who are supposed to really look at the system. But in this sitting, the conference wants to address the challenges that we are having, where, for instance, the Al-Majris are being, co-opted, for instance, into antisocial, and very terrible kind of leanings by those who are promoting terrorism and banditry. So we want to make sure that such kind of behavior, such kind of possibility is nipped in the bud. The situation or scenario that creates such possibility will be addressed at this conference, such that the goodness of the Sangaya system will be restored and then modernized, and our children and other stakeholders in the system will feel the reality of belonging to a society, and that society is also having responsibility towards them, just as they also have a responsibility towards the society. So we are expecting that this collaboration is going to produce a model Sangaya school, and this model Sangaya school will have the model that will be showcased to the participants, and which will also be broadcasted after the conference. We'll also look at the possibility of getting funding for these model schools and supporting the rehabilitation of existing schools as well. So inshallah, at the end of the day, both the setting of the Sangaya system, and as well as the content of the Sangaya system, our scholars, our religious leaders will look at it and see how they can improve the system, and then avoid a scenario where negative elements can infiltrate the children and turn them into something else. And then, of course, you hear people, using the name of the religion negatively, which is very, very embarrassing.
Inshallah. What is the advice can you give to the audience, especially those that are struggling with the situation?
Yes, when it comes to the issue of development, when it comes to the issue of security, every person has a role to play. It doesn't have to be only government. Everybody has a responsibility as a citizen to make sure that you contribute your own quota, to making sure that there is peaceful living within your area, and by extension, outwards. So in this vein, the stakeholders that are coming to the conference are coming to, avail a lot of ideas in terms of good governance, in terms of, countering terrorism, in terms of avoiding extreme, violent extremism and things like that. So the people themselves have a responsibility, to make sure that they are conscious of their environment and the security of their environment as well. And if you are a father or a mother, or you are just a parent, you are supposed to also be conscious of what your child is being taught. We want to avoid, un-Islamic indoctrination that is passed as Islam. These are some of the things that this conference, is going to, address. A lot of un-Islamic things are being attributed by, evil people committing atrocities in the society and attributing such things to the religion of Islam, and that negates, the essence of Islam itself. So Islam is all about peace, development, kindness, treating, somebody the way you will expect to be treated, and things like that. So my take on this is that we would like to encourage the people to, imbibe the tradition of, treating your brother or sister in a manner that you will always also want to be treated.
MashaAllah. I think this is the end of our interview. Thanks for sharing your insight with us, sir. We really appreciate your time.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. And to the viewers and listeners, once again, I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is the end of our interview with the Chairman Program and Content Committee, and also the Deputy Secretary of Jamiyyatu Ansaridden Attijjaniyya. Don't forget, my name is SM Sumaya Mudassir from the Jamiyyatu Ansaridden Online Radio. Ma'assalam.